Welcome to the post-game podcast. Jerry's out today. He'll be back tomorrow. So I've got the Eddie Scozzare today. Welcome, Eddie.
Hello, podcast people and YouTube person.
Hell yeah, YouTube 1,000 people now I think we're getting. So we
Really?
are really starting to crush
Yes.
the YouTube game. You ever watch YouTube on your actual television set at home?
No.
Yeah, it took me a long time to do it. Now I love it on there. And they actually say that the YouTube app is the most popular thing people watch on their television, more than Netflix.
I would
Pretty
not
good.
have guessed that. But
Yeah. I think once it's awkward at first because you're like, well, this is something I watch on my phone or tablet. But then once you start watching it on your television, it's cool.
So you don't even have your iPad and then cast it
No,
to...
yeah, I just have the YouTube app on my Apple TV.
Yeah, I think I have that, but
Yeah.
I never look at it because if I'm looking at YouTube to watch, whatever videos I'm looking
Yeah.
at, it's usually as I'm in bed already and waiting to fall asleep.
With your iPad.
Yeah.
And you do you have an Apple TV or what is the device you
TV.
use? Yeah, me too. I love Apple TV.
Yeah.
I think it's so much better than like Roku and the
Mhm.
Fire Stick.
And what I will do, I'll, fuck the football loser that I am. I'll, the CBS Sports Network has a contract with the CFL. And this time of the year, they'll air usually 3 out of the 4 games until they pick up with college football and all that. But there's usually at least one game a week that is stream only. And I can stream it because I live in the United States and it's not available. And I will what is that called? Aircast it or
Yeah, I
whatever
think
to
so.
my usually it's the Friday night game. So on Saturday morning, I'll put that on my Apple TV
Yeah.
from my iPad though.
Yeah, it gets confusing because Apple TV is a device
Mm-hmm.
and Apple TV Plus is a streaming service.
Yes, which I think we have.
Then you have YouTube, the regular YouTube, which you can watch on your TV.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also YouTube TV, which is like a cable bundle.
Is that what you have or no?
No, I have regular YouTube.
Right, but you pay something.
I pay because I don't want any commercials on my YouTube.
Right.
So I pay for that. That's called YouTube Premium.
No, but that's different from YouTube TV
Yeah.
streaming.
Yes. Because
So-
there's YouTube, which is
Right.
regular YouTube that you
Mhm.
know on your
With
internet.
the pre-rolls.
Yeah. Then there's YouTube Premium, which is that with no commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's YouTube TV, which is like cable television,
Okay.
streaming form. It gets confusing. They should have named them different things. Same with the Apple TV device,
Yes.
and then Apple TV Plus being the streaming service. Very confusing.
So if you have YouTube TV, do you then get like a guide and a menu of
Yes.
channels?
You do.
Okay.
I had it for a while back. But then I realized none of these cable channels, other than live sports,
Mm-hmm.
if you like live sports, you got to have something.
Yes.
But other than that, all these channels, all they do is show Dateline NBC.
Yeah.
Every channel.
Yeah.
Stinks.
But for us, for live sports,
yeah, you need it.
you do need it.
Need something.
Because no package has everything.
Correct. Although Jerry says, you have to have something. So like whether you have YouTube, Jerry claims that Direct TV Stream has everything.
But maybe not like Peacock.
Oh yeah, that's a separate item. Yeah,
Right.
Peacock.
Because there's some college football
Yeah.
games that are only on Peacock, but I am not.
And I think they'll get some NFL games as well.
Yeah, but those might be available for you don't have to sign up, I think, or
Maybe.
am I wrong?
I don't know.
about that?
I think you might be wrong about that now. In the beginning, when they first started, it was like that.
Even if it's a playoff game.
Yeah. Because remember they got a wild card game that one year, and
the
it was only
Dolphins-
on that.
you know what I
Peacock.
did? I didn't get it, but I woke up the next morning and it was, of course, on NFL Network.
Yes.
So that's what I did.
Or on the NFL Plus app,
Yeah,
which
but
you could also do.
But they have. I'm positive that game was on NFL Network for no charge.
The next day.
Like at midnight.
At midnight, yeah. The other thing got me thinking about all these phones and things. When we were on the plane ride back, the plane ride there, they say the person will come over the loudspeaker of the airplane. They'll say, please put your tray tables back, put your seat back, from leaning back, and put your devices to airplane mode.
Right.
I'm all for airplane mode.
Yes, me too.
I always do airplane mode, but I always look around me and see tons of people not on airplane mode
But how do you know they're not on
because I see
airplane?
them like on Twitter or something, which they have to be on in
But
order
isn't
to.
Wi-Fi available?
Yeah, this is like before takeoff, where they're not on. Or I know they're not on Wi-Fi.
Oh, but I thought it was okay to be.
Yeah, but
Uh,
when they go, time to put it in because we're
okay.
gonna take off, and they're still like talking to their friends and all stuff.
And here's something you mentioned: airplane mode. I forgot to do it. Not that I had it out and I wasn't using it, so it was not on. But my iPad, I forgot to put that in airplane mode. I don't know if that matters or not since I didn't have it out and it
Yeah,
wasn't active, but it's still on.
still on. But here's the thing: I don't think airplane mode can't really matter. If it did,
Yes.
they would be checking everybody, and they
Yes.
don't check,
Right.
which means it's not you're not gonna take a plane down if everybody's
You would think not, right? Because otherwise it definitely would have happened. There would have been a problem.
right.
Because what do you think? 50% of the people don't bother
I
with,
I think at least 50% of the people do not put devices in airplane mode.
and they do check. They come up. They will raise your seat back, tell you to put your tray table up. They
Yes.
kind of just look at your. You could fake the seatbelt thing if you wanted
Yeah,
to,
if you wanted to.
because they don't. They're not really checking that close. But the other things they do take care of.
Yeah, so my point is like putting your device in airplane mode can't matter
And no, I
because
agree.
or they would be like they would have something where they could shut off all our signals.
Yes,
Something cool like
blocked it.
that. Yeah, so I did a little this was bugging me and I wrote myself a note while I was on the plane to
Hmm.
check this when I got home. So I did ask the Grok
Hmm.
AI about airplane mode. And what I got back was that when early cell phones and earlier airplanes, there were sometimes interference would make the what the pilot heard in their headset, it could make it crackly. But the new airplanes are so much better at blocking out that stuff, and the newer phones also don't emit the same electromagnetic stuff so that it's no longer a problem.
Okay.
But they want people to go into airplane mode just in case. And as long as about half the people do it, you're all good.
Hmm.
But
Seems fugazi.
it does seem fugazi. I used to really bug me like flying with Craig Carton. He
Yeah,
would never
of
go in
course not.
airplane mode.
No.
He'd be on his phone.
Yeah.
I'd be like, get in airplane. And Craig and his wife used to laugh at me that I was like looking around being in a panic.
Mhm.
He's like, no one it doesn't matter. He'd be getting like phone calls in the middle of a flight. And I was just thinking like
Like, how did that work? How was he picking up cell towers?
I think that was like it depends. Like you it's not consistent, but you could bounce off a cloud and get a cell signal. I don't know.
Because you're thousands of feet up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that would work unless you paid for the Wi-Fi.
Unless this was, there was a couple times we were on private planes with Craig.
Yes.
And on those, he would always be on his phone.
Mhm.
So maybe those planes don't go as high as a commercial airliner. He was able to get a signal.
And there was something where, like, you went to it wasn't the pay Wi-Fi, but it was some other kind of Wi-Fi where you could, like, text with
Yeah.
people.
So we took United, which
Right.
is out of Newark, is like the main
Mhm.
airline. So United, you can pay for Wi-Fi,
Mhm.
or if you just sign on to their Wi-Fi, you can text.
Which I did.
Yeah.
I didn't text because I had nobody to text.
Yeah, but you could have if you wanted to text.
Mm,
But anything else, you would have to pay for the
mm.
Wi-Fi, which I've never had luck on Wi-Fi on a plane.
No.
I see people streaming movies, and I'm like, how are you?
And I was one of the unfortunate people, one of the seats where some of the movies wouldn't play.
Yeah, your movies weren't playing.
So I couldn't watch the end of Close Encounters.
Yeah.
I was going to watch The Hobbit, the first episode of The Hobbit movies, but no, I had to watch some other two random like ghost horror movies.
It is amazing that all the seats on an airplane and they all have that
Mhm.
video, and we could all watch something different.
Yeah, and
That's
I
wild.
liked this one didn't have it, but I've been on airlines where I could watch live ESPN. So I've
Yes.
watched like live college football games on right in front of me, which was cool.
You're right. These flights did not have the
No,
live
you
DirecTV.
didn't have right.
It had just various things you wanted to
Yeah,
watch.
I mean, you could entertain yourself for sure. And at the end, in that 90-minute delay, I actually fired up the games, trying to figure out like
I
how to
did see
play.
you playing video games
Yeah,
on your screen.
yeah, just at the end when we were like, an hour into the 90 minutes sitting on the tarmac in
Yeah.
Newark, waiting through the thunderstorms.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's interesting because I will be very careful what I watch on a plane. Like, I don't want any lovemaking scenes on
mhm.
anything I'm watching because I feel like that's awkward for the people.
Yeah, and they actually say that, like, be conscious of.
Yeah.
But I also do think that they will, and I don't know this for sure, but if there is an R-rated movie with nudity, they may edit those scenes out for an airplane. I'm not
Hmm.
sure,
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
but thinking about it, like, I don't recall seeing, like, glancing over, seeing somebody with, like, frontal nudity or
Yeah.
lovemaking scenes or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I did see someone on the plane was watching some movie that did have some lovemaking, although I did not see nudity.
But was it on the screen in
It was
front of
on
him
the
or
screen.
not on his iPad?
Yeah, it was one of the United options.
Yeah, they might edit those out.
Yeah, I could see that. I would think they should.
Yeah.
Sometimes I download stuff off of YouTube to watch. I did
Mhm.
that a lot, and then even some Netflix things. But
Mm.
that's what I was trying to be careful of. If you download off of your Netflix and watch it, that could have nudity
Totally.
or love-making scenes, which I don't want
Yes.
people to see. Me looking at love-making scenes
No, yeah, no.
feels weird. I always had this idea. I don't know why they don't do this. Why do the airlines not charge? They should charge you for carry-ons and make checking your bag free to stop the chaos of what goes on an airplane.
Well, we had our check-in was free. The one
Yeah, but whoever bought the ticket for us paid for that.
oh, that's
No,
not normally?
no,
Oh.
it's like $40.
Oh, okay.
But then they let you carry on for free. That's where they got to get people. If they want to speed up the process, they got to charge you to put a bag in the overhead bin. You should have to rent space for
Right,
it.
because that's convenient.
Yeah, and it would make it faster if less people did it.
Mhm.
We'd get on and off that plane faster.
Sure.
I don't know why they don't do that.
And I wonder how many times a day it happens where somebody gets conked in the head pulling out a heavy, like a shorter person,
Yeah,
and he can't really reach and control, and he knocks somebody in the head.
yeah,
It's got to happen a lot.
because they don't check that either. Like you
No.
said, like they don't measure the bag to make sure it will fit in the
You
overhead.
can kind of eyeball it, but
But I mean, there is a thing where they could measure it if they want.
yes,
Like if they want to be.
right. Like you must be this tall to ride this ride.
Yes.
There's a little thing that's right there. Has to fit in this little diagram.
It is kind of incredible that all the flights that go on all day long,
Mm-hmm.
all the airlines,
All over the world.
all over the world, that it is very rare for there to be a problem
Yes.
of like a crash.
It's probably the safest form of transportation.
And it doesn't make sense that it
No,
should be the
because
safest.
it seems like it's the most complicated.
Very complicated. No matter what flight you're on, at some point you hit some turbulence.
Yeah, for sure.
Why couldn't that just throw you out of the sky?
Yeah.
Like that seems way less safe than driving a car.
Right. And yet, like probably, I don't know the statistics, but it's probably every minute or every few minutes that someone is killed in an automobile accident.
Right.
And that's like happening like as we've done this podcast, how many people have died in a motor vehicle accident?
Right.
And yet the plane crashes are very rare.
I think about that like when I'll be on a plane and I'll see like the flight attendants. I'm like, this person's like, we come here every day.
Mm-hmm.
This person goes on an airplane every day that they're working.
Mm-hmm.
And they're up, they're turbulence, they're landing, taking off.
And they are safer in their travel, in their work than we are.
Right.
Statistically,
'Cause
by a good margin.
Because we're driving into New York City.
Right. Maybe the complication and the, of that form of travel makes it to where, everybody's just locked in and you have many people and safeties and countermeasures and all this redundancies and all this stuff because it is so dangerous and complicated and people take the driving for granted and they're texting, they fall asleep, whatever. So,
Yeah.
you don't have that oversight that you do for a plane.
Right. Yeah, it's just amazing that planes are not like, there's not more air disasters.
Yeah. And also when we're sitting there like, "Oh, there's a weather today," everybody's like, "Ah." Like,
Fly through it.
yeah, right. Like, what are you, nuts? Oh, there's like one little screw loose on the engine cover. Oh, we gotta switch plate. Yes, yes, you should. Please.
Yeah, I don't like that, you're p like, let's say you're taking off, right? We're gonna go to San Francisco. That's a far flight.
Yes, it is.
It's almost as far as you can go. And you'll see, like, oh, they'll say, like, "Oh, good news, like, your plane has come in." And they turn that right around to get on
Mhm.
the air again.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Did we check
Right.
everything?"
All they did was, pick up the garbage and put gas in the plane.
Yeah. Did we check that all the bolts are that
Mhm.
I even was thinking I think about all these things. When I was looking outside and seeing the plane while we were inside, and I'm looking out at the plane, I'm looking at the windshield, I'm like, "Do they make sure that's tight and, that
Mhm.
no air is gonna go
Right,
through the
and there's
windshield?"
always some turbulence, and you gotta think that would shake loose a bolt or something.
Yes! Shake loose a bolt, shake loose a wire in
Mhm.
all the stuff you need up there.
Yeah, and we
Unbelievable.
just get on like sheep, but very safe.
Very safe.
Statistically,
Yeah.
probably the safest form of travel.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's the safest form of
Yeah,
travel.
because of where you are, and if something does go wrong, it's kinda the end.
Yeah. If something goes wrong, it's rare that something goes wrong, but when it
Yes.
does, it's a problem.
Mhm.
Big problem.
Yeah.
You ever look at one of those maps that shows like what planes are in the air at
No.
any given moment?
No.
It's an insane amount of planes.
Yeah, I do remember looking at one where after 9/11 when they grounded everything, and there was just some military planes, and that was it.
Where they showed like what it
Yes.
normally would
Uh-huh.
be, and then
Yeah, yeah.
you'll even see sometimes like in the pocket of this in the seat in front of you, you'll open it up and it'll show like oh, here's all of our flights. And it's got all the lines
Yes.
from airport to
It's
airport. And
insane.
there's just an
And that's
insane amount.
one airline.
Yeah. One airline, right.
That's why air traffic controller, oof-ah,
Yeah.
that is a stressful job.
Yes. I know. I don't like to hear like when like if with air traffic controllers are angry about
Yeah.
their pay or something like let's figure this out.
Yeah, Reagan fired them all, remember that?
Yeah. I was somewhere with my family on vacation
Mhm.
when Reagan fired all the air traffic controllers.
Mm.
How did we get back?
Yeah, well, you did.
I did make it. I don't know how, man. Man,
Well,
I like only to take a carry on that fits under. I don't
yeah,
want the pressure of trying to
yeah.
find to fight for the space
I have done
above.
that, like, I'll put because my CPAP machine does not count for anything. Like, I can bring a personal item, like a man purse and a backpack and my CPAP because it's a medical device, and that I'll put up top, but my backpack, I wanna have and I don't bring the man purse, just bring the back I kinda need because of my glucometer, all my juice and
Yeah.
everything, I have to have that under my seat so I can get it easily.
Yeah. Plus, you want to be able to, if your headphones are in there, if you have snacks in there,
Yes, that's true,
a
but
book, an iPad.
it's more like the stuff to deal with any situation
Yeah.
if I have one.
Yeah. I don't like when people get up in mid flight and they're in the overhead bin. I'm like,
Yeah,
sit
and
down.
I also I carry with me and keep with me at all times all of my, like, diabetic stuff that I'll need for the however long I'm going, like,
Yeah.
all the things to change my, the infusion set, the sensor, that I always carry with me.
Because you can't have that like lost luggage.
Yeah, like, I can't go out and buy that easily. Like, if they lose my I could go buy clothes, I could go buy toiletries. I can't go buy a insulin sensor and infusion set.
Yeah. So you got to
have
carry that on.
FedEx to me.
Yeah.
And if all, it could be a problem.
Hmm.
Yeah, good times.
I did feel a little more comfortable on this trip with you in that I know that things have advanced that if your blood sugar gets out of control,
Hmm.
it lets your wife know
Yes.
on an app.
Right. And then she could call the
Yeah,
hotel.
and then she could call the hotel.
Yeah, the whole thing. And I
So
have that, like, I kept my, like this nasal spray, which is an emergency hypoglycemic remedy. If I'm like unconscious, I can't drink, so if an EMT would know what it was and would know what to do. I have this thing on the back of my phone they could scan to see what my situation is. There's a lot of technology.
yeah,
I know the one time, I think we were in Minnesota, the first, like, when my sugar crashed, and
yes,
you and Gita, like, you knocked on my door and I was like out of it.
you were out of it.
But I got, and I said, I'll meet you at the restaurant. And yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it
I felt
happened.
like that was not going to happen this time.
No. Oh, much less likely to happen.
Less likely because as it was happening, your wife would have been
Right. And
alerted.
also with because that was before I started wearing the continuous glucose monitor sensor myself. So unless I'm like whatever, unconscious or asleep and I don't hear the alarm, I will get an alarm myself as well as the wife. Like, right. So that a lot of times will wake me up. And so I can deal with it before it gets to the point
Yeah,
where I can't deal with it.
right. It wakes you up, then you
Cor
can handle it,
Right.
and your wife gets it. So then she goes, "Let
Yeah,
me check."
and that happened, like, when my sugar went a little low, I drank juice, and then I immediately texted my wife, said, "I'm aware I drank the juice." And it takes a while for even though I'm feeling better and okay, it takes a while for the sensor to catch up, like, where the sugar is in my
Yeah,
body and all. It takes a while to get to the interstitial fluid that it's measuring.
sure.
So I say, "Don't worry, you'll see it go up in about 20 minutes." So,
Nice.
yeah,
All right, Eddie, let's do the warm up show.
why not?
I did that with CeeLo.
Yes, and back with Jerry tomorrow.
Tomorrow's a regular show. Boomer, Geo, Jerry, you, me, all here.
For the rest of the week.
Yes.
And the post-game podcast, Jerry and Al reunited.
Oh, reunited.
Mhm.
All right, let's do that warm up show right here. And
All
until
right.
then.
See you.